Leveling with Druid has never been better. In Season 3 we managed to combine Poison with Lightning to create one of the best hybrid builds that lets you level with ease. This build has insane AoE damage, raining lightning from the sky continuously, all the while spreading poison which infects the entire screen. It also has incredible healing constantly. You can see I haven't even bothered to level up my potion. That's how much healing the build has. And unlike other early level Druid builds, this one has absolutely no issues with spirit, as we have 2 skills that instantly give us large chunks of spirit again and again. There are absolutely no items or RNG aspects that are required for the build. Everything is obtained from the codex or very early on in the seasonal questline. So let's go over the core gameplay loop of the build. If you have 0 or low amounts of spirit, the first 2 skills you want to use are Blood Howl and Trample. Blood Howl provides you with 20% health instantly, and then thanks to innate Blood Howl, you also gain a chunk of spirit. Trample is a great movement tool and good for burst damage, but thanks to Savage Trample, it now also provides a large amount of spirit on cast. The first attack you want to use in a pack of enemies is Rabies, which spreads poisoning damage through them. This season we also have the Virulent aspect, which is unlocked from the very first chapter of the season and will cause your Rabies cooldown to significantly lessen, which means you can use Rabies more often, which is absolutely huge for that damage boost. Thanks to your passive Envenom, you'll deal much larger crits against enemies that are poisoned, and thanks to Neurotoxin, any poisoned enemies are slow, which is important because Nature's Reach, another passive, causes you to deal double the damage bonus against slowed enemies. Poison Creeper is another ability you want to pop early on, as it immobilizes enemies, meaning Nature's Reach is active, and thanks to Brutal Poison Creeper, your critical strike chance goes up by a whopping 20%. Now you can use your Lightning Storm ability, which can cause massive crits thanks to all those abilities and passives stacking. With Rabies and Lightning Storm, you'll be able to clear out large packs of enemies with ease. Thanks to Enhanced Blood Howl, once you start killing huge packs of enemies, Blood Howl's cooldown will be significantly reduced, and then you should use Blood Howl to constantly get your spirit and health back whenever it's off cooldown. Thanks to Circle of Life, whenever we cast Lightning Storm, we gain back even more healing, so trust me, combined with Blood Howl, you'll never need to pop a potion. It's pretty ridiculous. All this healing is great because it means we can use our key passive Ursine Strength and deal 25% increased damage whenever we have more than 80% health, which seems to be nearly all the time thanks to the constant healing. If Trample and Blood Howl are on cooldown and you need spirit, then we can use our Wind Shear basic attack, which in my eyes is the best basic attack for Druid because it causes enemies to become vulnerable and it increases your movement speed, which makes Druid much more efficient at speed leveling. So to summarize, use your spirit generators, then pop Rabies, Poison Creeper whenever off cooldown, then spam Lightning Storm, then pop your spirit generators again whenever they're off cooldown, and if they're on cooldown, you need to chuck in a few Wind Shears for that spirit. The same rotation applies to bosses. This build may not have the best single target boss damage, but due to the constant healing, you're not going to struggle at all. It'll just take slightly longer than some of the other classes out there. So let's go over the skill tree in more detail. The priority when you're leveling is to unlock a new skill on the toolbar rather than upgrading an already existing ability. And some of the earlier passives we actually get later on as we're leveling. So to start with, put 1 point into Wind Shear, which is our main spirit generator, and then 1 point into Enhanced Wind Shear and Fierce Wind Shear. 1 point into Lightning Storm, 1 point into Enhanced Lightning Storm, and then 1 point into Primal Lightning Storm, so we can immobilize enemies and take advantage of the several damage boosts this build provides. You'll want to max out Lightning Storm to 5 out of 5 ranks pretty quickly, as it's your main DPS option, along with unlocking new skills side by side. Unlock Blood Howl along with Enhanced and Innate Blood Howl as soon as possible so you can get healing and spirit more efficiently. Then go for Poison Creeper alongside Enhanced and Brutal Poison Creeper. Once Lightning Storm is 5 out of 5, put 1 point into Rabies. Then go and put 1 point into Trample, which will help with mobility and burst damage. 1 point into Enhanced and Savage Trample, so you can then have another ability which generates spirits. Then go back in and get Enhanced and Natural Rabies, which will make the skill much more efficient. Eventually you'll want to get Rabies to 5 out of 5. Now the rest of the skill tree focuses on passives. Put 1 point into Neurotoxin so you can put 3 points into Envenom, 3 points into Nature's Reach for more damage against crowd controlled enemies, 3 points into Defiance for more damage against elites, 3 points into Circle of Life for constant healing whenever you cast Lightning Storm or Wind Shear. At around this time, you should be able to unlock your key passive Ursine Strength, which is a big boost to damage. And because by this point you have Blood Howl and Circle of Life, you'll be able to keep your health up pretty easily to keep this active at all times. Put 3 points into Natural Disaster, 1 point into Heart of the Wild, so you can put 3 points into Wild Impulses and 3 points into Abundance, 3 points into Predatory Instinct for more critical strike chance, and finally 1 point into Elemental Exposure and 1 point into Charged Atmosphere, so you can put 3 points into Electric Shock, which can further increase damage against immobilized enemies. Let's go over the aspects I recommend whilst leveling. Every single aspect comes from the Codex or seasonal questline early on, so you aren't at the mercy of RNG. For offensive aspects, Edge Masters is good to increase damage based on how much spirit you have when you cast Lightning Storm. Aspect of Inner Calm boosts damage for each second you stand still, which because you're channeling Lightning Storm and getting constant healing is very much possible. Shepherd's aspect increases your damage by 6% for each companion. Poison Creeper is a companion, so that does count for that little boost. Night Owl's aspect boosts critical strike chance whenever you use Blood Howl. For utility or resource aspects, the Virulent aspect, as I mentioned before, is very good, as it reduces rabies cooldown as it spreads. And then Aspect of the Umbral is another one I'd recommend to maybe put on one of your rings, as it will boost spirit generation quite a bit, as we constantly slow or immobilize enemies with this build, which all count as crowd control. There are no defensive aspects that are a requirement, but Aspect of Disobedience to boost armor and Aspect of Might for easy damage reduction are good aspects, but trust me, you won't need these due to the constant healing this build provides. There's not much to say for gear. You're going to be constantly out-leveling gear, so keep on replacing it. This especially applies to your weapon, which you want the highest DPS weapon for. If you're playing on the seasonal realm, you'll have the Seneshcal Construct. There are obviously some very strong legendary and unique stones, but these are dropped much later on in the game, so you won't encounter a lot of them early on whilst leveling. Early on for leveling, I found the utility aspects more useful. Reconstruct helps even more with healing and survivability, whilst Protect gives you a barrier on top to help with survivability. If you don't have these, then an attacking skill with Poison Support can help to poison more enemies and apply slow to them through neurotoxins. You'll deal more damage. Efficiency Support boosts critical strike chance even more, and then Slowing Support adds even more slow to the mix. If you do have Arcing Support alongside an attack, you can use Resource Support so you can gain back massive amounts of spirit. Unfortunately, I don't have this combo unlocked, but if you do by chance get these stones, do use them, as that will help your spirit generation a lot. Have a play around with the combinations. There are some useful ones, but yeah, don't get caught up too much on this while leveling. Most of the power from this comes from the end game. So there you have it, my Poison Lightning Hybrid build for level 1 to 50. It's faster, stronger, and just better than all previous Druid leveling builds. And you'll be level 50 in no time. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Diablo builds as we get deeper into Season 3. I'm Mr. Ronit, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.